recite the Bhagavad-gita today. Are you all very, very ready? Yes. All right.
Yes.
So it seems like it is broadcasting. Right, it is. Okay. And we get here. I'm starting to share my screen. Let me know when you're able to see it.
Can see it now. Yes, ma'am.
You can see it now? Okay, that's very good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's very interesting. It's an interesting verse from different, there's not much in this verse actually, but it's interesting from a very different perspective. And so we'll get started after this short prayer. To the spiritual master, my 10 words to all of you and to those watching us here on Facebook. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ. So today we have one tongue twister here. Praharaṇāḥ. Praharaṇāḥ. So this is going to get us all down today. Otherwise, other verses are simple. Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ. Okay. So let's look at the synonyms. Anye is others. So he had talked about in the last verse about, he had given the names, right? Bhagavan, Bhishmasya, right? Karnasya, Kripasya, Samitinjaya, right? Like that. So now he's saying, well, I've listed some of this, but anye, there are others also. Anye cha bahavaḥ, in great numbers. Śūrā, heroes. Mad-arthe, for my sake. Tyakta-jīvitāḥ, prepare to risk their lives. Nānā, many. Shastra, weapons. Praharaṇāḥ, equipped with. Sarve, all of them. Yuddha-viśāradāḥ, experienced in military science. There are many heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. So just keeping in mind that here, tyakta-jīvitāḥ, tyak means to give up, right? Mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ is prepared to risk their lives. But here he's saying prepared to lay down their lives. And actually, tyakta-jīvitāḥ really means, to lay down their lives, to give up their lives and not just risking it, right? Prepared to lay it. But anyway, risk also kind of covers it because as part of the risk, you might lay down their life. But just wanted to point it out. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and are all experienced in the military science, right? And for yuddha-viśāradāḥ, so viśārad is when you are experienced in something. So as far as others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the skillful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above-mentioned combined strength of his friends. So this verse also talks about that, about omens and how people use certain words which are, self-destructing. So he's saying others are here who are prepared to lay down lives. Of course, he didn't mean it in the sense that they will die, but ultimately they did die. So we have to be careful about what we speak here. So my question to you, to those of you who attended the class from yesterday, and also attending here today, there's a word which is common between yesterday's verse and
Bahavaḥ.
Bahavaḥ.
I was also noticing.
All right, bahavaḥ is many, right? So yesterday, Krishna was talking about that many others, bahavaḥ jnana tapasa, that many others through jnana and tapasya were able to attain my bhava, about love for me. And so he was emphasizing the fact that he was backing up his statement with numbers by saying bahavaḥ. And here also we see Duryodhana is also doing the same thing, right? He's backing up his claims, right? He had talked about the list, 5, 10, maximum names are there, but now he's talking about bahavaḥ in great numbers, right? So there are many others who know that. So sometimes we do this to emphasize and to support the statement that we are making, okay? So let's get down without much ado into reciting this. And we have the reading order: Meera Mataji, Vaishana Mataji, Sutapa, Aruni, Priya, and Suruchi. Anybody else has come that I have missed? Join the call that I'm not seeing. Okay, doesn't look like it. Okay, so who goes in first? Meera Mataji, want to try?
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe
Yes.
tyakta-jīvitāḥ or jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Daha. Very nice. Okay. Vaishana Mataji.
Yes, ma'am. Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Okay. Sutapa.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Okay. Aruni Mataji.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Priya.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Okay. Very good. Suruchi.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Okay. So which word, and this is for everybody, which word over here says for my sake?
Mad-arthe.
Mad-arthe. Right? Okay. Now, if we take the word mad-arthe and split it into two, right? Which one is talking about sake?
Arthe.
Arthe, right? And which is mine?
Mad.
Mad.
Right? So when we are pronouncing this word, right? When you're pronouncing this word over here, then this will not be
Ma.
right. So when you're reciting these words, you're also thinking about the meaning as you go along, right? So we will not pronounce it like this. Let me make it a slightly bigger so that you can see. Mad-arthe. It is not mad-arthe, right? Mad for me and arthe is for my sake. So these are slight nuances of as you go along, right? Because ultimately it's not just about reciting, learning how to recite the words. You also have to know the meaning, and ultimately, if you can commit it to memory, there's nothing better than that, right? So understand there's fine nuances over here, right? Mad-arthe versus mad-arthe, right? So here this is mad and then arthe. Okay. All right. Let's go for the second round.
anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Varchana Mataji.
Yes, Mother. Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Daha.
Da.
Daha. Okay, very nice. Okay, Sutapa.
anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
All right. Aruni Mataji.
anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Daha. Okay. Yeah, da. It's a soft da. Okay, who's coming next? Priya Mataji.
Anye cha bahavaḥ. Wait, hold on. Bahavaḥ. Is that correct, Mataji?
Bahavaḥ. Yeah.
Bahavaḥ.
Bahavaḥ. Yeah.
śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ
Yeah.
nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Daha. Okay. Very good. Let's go. Suruchi Mataji.
anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Good. Okay. So I just wanted to emphasize on a few things here. And let's look at verse number 29 from the first chapter. This will come in a little later, verse number 29. And so he's saying, Veputushya sharire me roma harshasya jayate gandivam shramsate hastat takuchaiva paridahyate. And so here he's saying, my whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. So this is Arjuna after he has looked on the army and he finds his relatives over there. Now, why I have brought this thing over here is that he's saying, my skin is burning. Okay. So can you look at the synonyms and tell me which is the Sanskrit word for skin?
Tvak.
Tvak. Okay. All right. Very good. Now let's go back here and see. There's another word here called tyakta, right? So we have to make that distinction between tvak and tyak. Right? So when we are pronouncing it, we have to be careful. It's not tvakta, it is Y. It is the letter Y, not the letter V, right? So sorry, typo here. So tvak versus tvak means skin. And tyakta means to give up. Like that, right? Tyakta. Jīvitāḥ. Of course, you all are doing much better than I do on this one. Praharaṇāḥ. For some reason, I can never do that.
Mataji, is that a no?
Ana, yeah, it is an ana.
Okay.
You know the
Yes,
language,
Mataji.
right? Anaha, yeah, but I'm giving it
Praharaṇāḥ.
to, yeah, I'm giving it to all of you. I know some of you are pronouncing it as an N, but that's fine. It's a tongue twister if you can't get around it. Yeah. So just learn to know the difference between da and tha, right? And ta and tha, right? They're different pronunciations of it,
Shraddha.
right?
So
And
Mataji, it will be like tyak.
tuak. This one will be, yeah, this is actually tyakta.
Yeah.
Tyakta, you see, half ta is there, then ya, and half k is there, and then ta. So that's why you see that half t, so there's just t and not a a after it. Then there's a full ya, so there's y and a. Then there's a half ka, so there's just a k, there's no a after it. And then the full ta, so there's a t and a a there. So tyakta, tyagna, tyagi.
Yes.
Tyagi, yeah. Jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ. So also whenever there's a H with a dot, you have to give it your full energy. Daha, right? Jīvitāḥ, right?
Viśāradāḥ.
Bhavaḥ, right? Bhavaḥ, Jīvitāḥ. So Sanskrit is pronounced like that, right? Different. Okay, let's go. One more try. Now that we know, we should go slow, be careful.
Should we do it together? Oh,
No,
I mean, do the full verse or
yeah,
separate?
yeah, do the full words, yeah.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Viśāradāḥ. Very good. Varsha.
anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Sattapama.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Mataji.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Priya.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Sachi.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Right. And one thing to keep in mind again, that this word is also a tongue twister. I'm noticing this. So mad-arthe, right? When we are pronouncing, sometimes it becomes right. So it is not mad, it is mad. Mad-arthe, right? And then jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ. Okay. And also this one mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ, right? Again here it's a soft T. It is not this. Jīvitāḥ, it is not jīvitā, it is jīvitāḥ. It's a soft T there, right? So keep those in mind. Okay, one more round. Let's go.
Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā
Bahavaḥ.
śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ
Very nice.
sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Aha. All right. Good. Vaishana Mataji.
anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Sutta Mataji.
anye ca bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Nice. Aruni.
anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ
Mad-arthe. 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 Not mud. 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 Soft D. Soft D.
That's what I said.
Mad-arthe. Yeah. And not mad-arthe.
But I'm just joining it. Mad-arthe.
Yeah. But even if you join it, right? If you join the two, it does not become MADH. You see the difference? Mad-arthe remains mad-arthe.
Oh,
It doesn't
mad-arthe.
become, it doesn't become mud. Yeah. So,
Mad-arthe.
yeah, watch for that DH there. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just start again. Anye cha bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ.
Try that. Yeah, try that afterward. After the class, try that. Mad-arthe. A few times. Mad-arthe.
Mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ
Very nice.
nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Okay,
Mad-arthe.
you got it now. Yeah. Mad-arthe. Let's practice mad-arthe. See, look at the breakdown. Try from here, and then you'll get it.
Mad-arthe.
Yeah.
Mad-arthe.
Mad-arthe. Mad, mine. And actually, it is not even mad-arthe. What actually the word is mat. Yes, you got it. It is actually mat is mine, and arthe is, for my benefit, for my sake. And then when they get combined, then they become mad-arthe. That's the Sanskrit, right? Mad-arthe. Okay, good. Who's after Natji? Priya? Yeah.
anye ca bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. One more time?
One more time?
No. Next one, sorry.
Oh,
One more person.
anye ca bahavaḥ śūrā mad-arthe tyakta-jīvitāḥ nānā-śastra-praharaṇāḥ sarve yuddha-viśāradāḥ.
Very nice. Okay. So bahavaḥ. Bahavaḥ. Right? Bahavaḥ. It's not bahavaḥ. It's not bahava. Bahavaḥ. So give it your full strength here. Bahavaḥ. Okay. So
Mataji, I have a question.
go ahead.
It should pronounce V, Jīvitāḥ, but V is not coming. Means in Jivan, we don't say like Jivan. So, but here it is V, means life. But it's not coming Jīvitāḥ. It's V is coming.
So V is coming, yeah. And what is supposed to come?
V.
B for boy?
V for violet.
V for violet is coming, yeah.
It's not coming, Mataji. Jīvitāḥ means B for boy is coming. That's
No.
Oh.
B for boy should not come. It is V only.
Yes, that's my question is means Jīvitāḥ. Yeah, Jīvitāḥ.
No, it is Jīvitāḥ, and you have been saying
Yes.
Jīvitāḥ only. Yeah.
But Mataji, when we say like Jivan, that's I'm telling means life. Jivan. We don't say one. We say Jiban.
Okay. You say Jiban in Bengali.
Oh,
Yeah, it is a Bengali word. Yeah. Jiban is a
Yes.
Bengali word, but the Hindi or the Sanskrit equivalent of that is Jivan.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Now
okay.
the
You got it,
okay.
yeah. Jiban is Bengali. Yeah. So sometimes when you bring in the Bengali words, I just ignore that because it's like, habit of speaking that language. So I'll sometimes ignore that. It'll come from your practice. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was asking that, okay, so in a nutshell, I'm going to start sharing here. So in a nutshell, what was the main thing that we talked about in today's verse?
Yudhishthira is saying that he has so many people who will lay their life for him.
Who will lay their life for him, right?
And they are equipped with different kinds of weapons.
Okay. Different kinds of weapons. Okay.
mad-arthe. For my
mad-arthe.
sake.
Yes. And interesting thing, I think I'll need to share my screen here real quickly with you. What happened to my Zoom? Share my screen. Yes. One thing I also wanted to point out here was this word when you said weapons. Yeah. So Shastra, right? Shastra, sorry. So there are two words here. Come on, let me make it big so that you can see, right? So there's the word Shastra, and there is a word right, Shastra and Shastra. So there's a big difference between the two of them. There's Shastra is weapons, and Shastra is
Scriptures.
Scriptures, right?
Knowledge.
Yeah. So what are they equipped with here?
Weapons.
Shastra. Weapons.
Right. Equipped with Shastra, exactly. Right. So Shastra and Shastra. So very interesting thing is that the so Shastra is weapon and Shastra is the scripture, but the Panditas, right? The Brahmins use the Shastra as the Shastra.
Yeah. They're both weapons, really.
Right.
But in different ways.
Right. The Brahmins use Shastra as Shastra. Right? But when you are pronouncing these, we have to be careful, right? And use the right word at the right time. So you see how just laying an emphasis on a letter, or laying an emphasis on a letter and not laying an emphasis on a letter changes the meaning completely, right? From weapons to scriptures, right? Seemingly opposite things. So these are the nuances that we should be looking into here.
So Mataji, I know it's over time, but that essentially means Duryodhana is using weapons and not knowledge, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Nānā-śastra, he's not talking about any kind of knowledge. He's a Kshatriya, right? And all these kings who have assembled here, they're purely talking about weapons. They're excited, they're ready. Actually, they say that before the night before the Mahabharata war started, that night nobody slept from excitement. Yeah. So sometimes we see that happening, right? That kids have the birthday the next day and then they don't sleep the night before. They're so excited, right? So similarly, it's a similar excitement they were also showing there.
Weapons without knowledge, right? Weapons without knowledge is one of the dangerous things.
Very nicely put. Yes. Yeah, weapons have to be used for protection of the right people.
Thank you.
No, but I mean, they're carrying out their dharma, right? I mean, they are born to fight. I mean, it's not they're Kshatriyas, so this is what they use to carry out their duties.
Exactly. They will carry out the duty, but they're not on the right side, right? So the destination is going to be different.
No, I know. I mean, that's a different story. But what I'm saying is, you can't say weapons without knowledge, because like the Pandavas would also use the weapons. So for the Kshatriyas, these are the tools of their trade.
Exactly, but the knowledge is not there, right? What is knowledge? Chapter 13 Bhagavad-gita, in Bhagavad-gita, Krishna describes that, right? So ultimate knowledge. And I think that's what she meant. That's what Priya Mataji meant, that weapons without knowledge is that don't have knowledge of God. Right? The butcher also uses a weapon, right?
Yes, exactly
that way she meant.
Yes.
Yeah. like that. But yes.
And
Yeah, right. See, there too, and I see your point also, Meera Mataji. When a person says using a weapon for knowledge is like, there's a gun and a child, is playing with the gun and the gun accidentally shoots, right? She didn't have knowledge that if I press this trigger, it's going to do something. That's using ultimate of using weapon without knowledge, right? And Priya was on the other end of this spectrum where she's saying, okay, I know how to use a gun. I know how to drop a bomb. I know everything about how to operate the weapons. But then the real knowledge is when to use that weapon and against whom. That is the ultimate knowledge. Right?
Yes. That's what I'm thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something, Varshana Mataji?
Ji Mataji. Sorry, Mataji. Mataji, I was just thinking that Duryodhana is so selfish. This shloka really tells mad-arthe, means for my sake they will. And he's not bothered that they will die. I mean, he's not looking at the ultimate result. He's only looking at his selfish motive that they are ready to die for me. So I was just thinking that how selfish he was.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too when you said they're excited and I was thinking that there is no thought about death and they're excited about the weapons, but then they're all going to die, or they could lose a limb, or they could be maimed or crippled or whatever. How can you be excited about something like that?
That's a Kshatriya.
Correct.
You are not a Kshatriya. You are a Brahmin, right? So that's the difference. The Kshatriyas are like that. We have a fight that's going on, right?
Wow.
Yeah, because
even the mode of material nature, passion.
Even in the news,
yes, Mataji, from the beginning, he was selfish. That's why that war happened.
That is true.
Right.
Because you always hear stories in the news that somebody killed somebody tortured somebody. So it's awful to hear those. But sometimes I wonder, those people, don't they feel like we couldn't even think of killing somebody else or somebody dying? So there are people who don't feel anything about people who can just die they don't have feelings for others.
Yeah. And that is the mode of material nature, mode of goodness and mode of passion. That is the difference. They are really, for example, one person just asked this question. I think of Prabhupada or one of our, acharyas. And the question was that, and of course, we watch Mahabharata on television. So the person said that Bhim says that, I will drink your blood. To the Sasana, whatever, right? He said, drink the blood. Then we were like, did Bhim really drink his blood? Or were the Pandavas so bad that they were drinking blood? It's a very valid question, right? You're saying Pandavas are devotees, and then they're saying, I'll drink your blood. Right? So that's the mode. He's a Kshatriya, and Kshatriyas talk like that. Right? And Varshana Mataji might remember that we used to have a film star called Dharmendra, and he always used to say, Kutte, tera khoon pi jaunga.
I know, some of it is pretty gory, actually.
It's that they use, it's very gory, isn't it? Why you find it gory, right? Because you don't have Kshatriya trait in you, right? You're more towards spiritualism. So you will find that the same thing. When people eat, I once remember I went with my manager to a dinner. Right. And so she said that, okay, order whatever you want to order. And I was like, I'm vegetarian, I'll order some pasta or whatever. So I ordered that. She says, I'm going to order oyster. I had no idea. So when before the dish came, the person brought just some towels for her and then brought a plier.
Yeah.
Plier, oh my God.
Yes.
To pierce open the shell.
Because it was a shellfish. Yeah, it was a shellfish. And so when you use a plier and then you cut open the shell and then from inside you put your finger and eat. So while you're using the pliers, it will splash. So that's why the towel was brought for her. So I was on the other side almost puking. And she's relishing it. So that's the difference between modes, what mode you are influenced by.
Mataji, I had a question. So is there a mixture between Brahmana and
Yes.
Kshatriya type
They
of
keep
thing?
mixing. Yeah, they keep mixing, and they also depends on the time of the day also. So it's morning part of the day, right? We are all in mode of goodness. And as the day progresses, we go to passion and ignorance, unless we are careful, right? And that's why whenever there are three sandhya. Sandhya means the intersection. So intersection, one of the meaning of sandhya. So intersection of morning and afternoon, intersection of afternoon and the night, and intersection of night and morning, like that, right? So wherever there's a sandhya, we sit down and do the Gayatri mantras. The Brahmanas do that, because they know worst thing is coming. So I have to sit and remember God this time.
Yes.
And Mataji, what is the Gayatri said in the afternoon is known as?
The same Gayatri mantras.
Sandhya Vandana.
The seven.
In the morning
Gayatri.
we say Gayatri.
The 7 Gayatri mantras that we do, that is called Brahman initiative.
Yeah.
The 7 mantras.
Mataji, yes, 7 mantras. Mataji,
You do
what
the
do we
same
call?
7. You do all of them. They're all Sandhya Gayatri. They're just called Gayatri. You do the Gayatri mantras and all the Sandhyas. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Same mantras you do. Sorry, somebody.
I have to leave, Mataji.
All right, Sutapa. Thank you for joining.
Are we still on Facebook?
We are on Facebook very much. And
okay,